Yo, that is like the freakiest and creepiest thing that ever happened. We were talking about Gettysburg and they kicked us out. What's up, Michael John?
I raised my hand, Taryn.
Yes.
I don't ever like to interrupt, so I raised my hand.
Oh.
My turn. Yeah, remember Arnold Horseshack? You go that far back to a show called Welcome Back, Carter, and there's a guy named Arnold. Okay.
Yes.
Anyways, that's my Arnold. Anyways, with everywhere, all the places you've investigated, what you've experienced, etc. Sitting there right now in your home, do you have visitors there, if you will? Do you have beings there? Do you have entities? Do you have experiences in your own home? How often are they there with you right now? All the above can be answered, or however that resonates with you.
I think there's only been a couple times where I felt, now it's different. I've always felt different in my own home if something happens. Maybe that stems back from when I was little, and I was always scared because I think things were happening in my house when I was younger and I was always afraid of it. So I don't know if that's why, being, and then, you get into a group and then during training, they tell you, never investigate your own house. It won't be good. So that was another thing that kind of stayed there in my head, so there's been, since I've started in this, I would say most of the houses I probably lived in, were not haunted. Prior to this, I lived in Ohio, and there's been a new location popping up right down the street from where I lived. I was there in 1997, and was it 97? No, 98 through 2000, and I lived on High Street, and the house I lived in then was a house with 5 apartments in it, and I was on the very top floor.
Oh wow!
And it was a beautiful place, but it was the servants' living quarters, so there was bells up there and everything still and everything. So it was a very old home, and things would happen to me there, and I was scared out of my mind, like scared. It was like no, and I was probably. I turned 21 out there. So, I was 21, I was young, so, that was still when I was like, no. So anyways, the house I live in now, I think there's been maybe questionable things that could have happened. Do I know for sure? No, but I know that I got that scared feeling when the thing was happening, but I didn't know if it was, I just got a trigger prop from Bob and Gina from Vortex Ghost Gear, and it's a black cat. And I had it on an investigation with me, and it was what seemed to be intelligently answering with answer cues and stuff. So I said, I want to test this out. I'm going to leave it in where I do my show. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm just going to see if it goes off. I'm going to leave it alone. I forgot about it. So all day, all night, and it was probably a couple hours, to be honest with you, but it was day into night. You know what I mean? So it was a couple hours, and I'm laying down in bed, and all of a sudden I hear boop, boop, beep, and I was like, oh, that's Zeus. I was like, I'm gonna turn that off. I was like, I don't like that. I don't want to know. Oh, good. I mean, it could have been anything, right? But that alone, freaked me out a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna go shut that off. If I was in a location, I would have reacted totally different.
Sure. Right.
But at my own, it was just a reaction. But that's how I've always been. I'm always like, yeah, no, not liking it. No. So I don't know. I can't explain that either.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
I just want to give we just had Anthony pop in. Hello, Anthony. Welcome to the show. And then we had Amanda pop in. So yeah, guys, I don't know what happened. We were just talking along, and all of a sudden it just booted us out of the broadcast. So that was like that's some paranormal stuff going on right there. People don't want to. People don't want to hear us and spread the truth.
Right. Right? Oh no, I'm looking.
Uh,
I'm looking down because I'm looking for the. So I thought I was on it, but I was on the old one.
yeah, yeah. Had to create a new link. Ah,
Here we are. Here we are. Okay, found this. All right. Sorry about that.
hey,
Worry.
no problem. So, give us probably the most freakiest thing that ever happened to you at any location. Not in Gettys. If it happened at Gettysburg, but the most freakiest thing that ever happened.
You mean freaky like scary or freaky
Yeah.
like
Yeah, like freaky, scary that you were like, wow, this is like too much.
I don't know if this was paranormal. But I was at Hinsdale House. I see
Daniel
your
Clay's.
shirt. That is, besides Gettysburg, that to date is my favorite place. I loved it there on so many levels, not just paranormal stuff, but there are so many things that awesome happened that weekend. And ironically, the most scariest thing that's ever happened to me. Uh, we were outside, and there was 4 of us inside and 3 of us were outside, and it was me, Megan, and Kelly. And we were I again, I don't like woods, right? And the Hinsdale house is surrounded by woods, and so we're outside already. I'm like, but we had a FLIR, and we also had a night vision camera. So
Okay.
we first went out without those things, and we went out to an area where they have found unmarked graves.
Right.
And so we were out there, and we were trying to do an EVP session, and I was like, listen. And I'm freaking out, right? Because we're in the you hear all kinds of shit up there, right? And so I said we got to put our backs to each other and just kind of so we have like eyes everywhere. I'm not worried about spirits. I'm like worried about animals or crazy ass wrong turn people coming from somewhere, So like we need to be on the lookout. So then I remember we had this stuff. So I was like, we got to go inside and get the FLIR and the night vision. Because I need to be able to see what's going on around me. We do it, come back out. It was fine for a minute or two, but then I still was not feeling comfortable. And then I started thinking, this is really not a good mindset to be in, to be investigating outside, because I was trying to do EVPs with them, but I was so worried about what was going on around me and stuff, And all of a sudden, we hear what sounded like a huge boulder getting dropped on dirt, like a big pile of dirt, if you will. Like that's what it sounded like. It was just this girthy, big thing falling on dirt. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Right? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, look. And that's when I told them, I said, I'm not feeling comfortable. Let's just go back towards the house. We go back towards the house. There's a fire pit there, and we're sitting outside because we're letting them investigate. We didn't want to go inside. We're talking. I calmed down. I felt better being by the house, by the fire stuff, and I was good. And we were just talking, and I heard a bang at the back of the house. And if you've been there, you know that when you shut the refrigerator door or the bathroom door, you can hear that outside.
Right.
So I'm turning around and I'm like, I'm just waiting for one of the other girls to go walk in from somewhere. Right. It didn't happen. But I'm sitting there like this. I'm going like this. And I have my flashlight. And I have I have like a cop flashlight. You know what I mean? So it's good. It goes far. So I'm going like this to turn. And I see eyes. We're in the area where we just were. And they were kind of tall up, And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I start to look forward, and they're the 2 of them. So Kelly's sitting next to me and Megan's standing over here, and they're like, what's what? And I'm like, what's that? And I get the FLIR and I go like this. And as I put it up and I'm facing towards it, it turned. So I couldn't see really the motion of it turn, but it turned to the side and it looked like a big, huge animal. And I was like, and I'm like, and I jumped up, my butt cheeks clenched. And I look again with the flashlight because they're like, what? I don't see it. I'm like, it's right there. And it was coming towards us.
Yep.
for like a split second, I swear, it went into my soul back out, and I teared. I was like so scared, a tear came out of my eye, and I ran over Megan to get into the house. That's the scaredest I've ever been in my life. I thought I was like, it's a fucking bear. And I ran into the house. I don't know if it was a bear. I don't know what it was. They were like, all my equipment flew on the ground. I left it out there. I had recorders out there for 2.5 hours recording. Like, I got so scared. I pulled a dude run. I don't care. Judge me all you want. But I thought that was a bear. And I thought, because I was like, a deer's not going to come at us.
Right.
A deer is going to run away from us. What animal would come towards us? I'm like, it's a bear. I was like, that was my first reaction. And I just took off. I was so scared. And I get my balls busted to this day by the girls because, you remember the Seinfeld episode with George is running out of the nursing home when it was on fire. He's like pushing all the old people out of the way. They were like, that was you. I was like, listen, if I run. Ask questions later. You left us out there. I'm like, no. You left yourselves out there. You should have ran with me. I was like, it was so scary. We never found out what it was. We never saw anything.
So, in hindsight, did you notice any eye shine, anything like that?
Yeah.
You know what color it was? Do you recall?
Like a blue color.
A blue color. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that stumps me.
Not like police blue or like it was like a blue, like a bluish color. Yeah, it was a bluish color.
Okay.
Not like crown blue.
Right.
Okay. Because I was hoping you'd say yellow or orange, like let's go Bigfoot, let's go Dogman. I was hoping. And who knows? I mean, it could have been, and there's so many cryptids we don't even know. I mean, there's so many things we don't know that exist out there that we were told don't exist. I mean, it could have been a million things. I mean,
yeah,
I'd almost be disappointed if it was a bear. I mean, I'm glad you survived, obviously, but I want to hear the cryptid stuff, of course, but that's me.
Yeah, but Megan and Kelly were out there, and it was nighttime, and I literally freaked. Like, it's funny because my recorders, right, landed on the ground, so you can hear. I have it on record, the whole incident. Like, it's on record. So you hear me like flipping out and saying it's so fucking bad. You hear me scream, the recorder goes flying, and you hear them yelling like, "Where are you going? What did you see?" You just hear the sheer panic in everybody, right?
Sure.
You can hear the door slam shut after I ran in and slammed the door shut behind me. Like, you can hear the door shut, and you hear them talking. They're like, "What is she talking about?" Like, and they're looking. And they're like, it's a deer. She's like, it's a fucking deer, And then they're like, wait, it's not. No, that's not a deer. What is that? And like you can hear this all transpiring. And then they come inside. And then they said that when it was walking, it looked like it misty separated or something. I don't know. I didn't see it. And I don't know how true that is. They would have to tell what they saw because I didn't see it.
Oh, wow.
But they said they saw something weird. And I'm like, that was a bear. And that's my story. And I'm sticking to it because if it was something paranormal, I wouldn't have ran like that. That was a bear. I was like, So it was interesting. I did think about it. If it was something, could it have been something Native American even? Because when I was thinking about it earlier that day, I don't know anything about the drums, the Indian drums, but I do know. I think if I recall reading somewhere that the music can sometimes tell a story or something, maybe have a message in it or whatever. And we were playing music like that earlier out by the campfire. I usually don't get into that because I don't know what I'm getting into with when you're doing that kind of stuff. So, it did make me feel a little uncomfortable at that point because I'm like, this is it feels off. Like, you're not familiar with that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Exactly. Well
so
said.
later on, I was just like, wow, did we hear something happen there? Did we call something? And then, but of course that's just theory, right? But because I still don't know what it was. We never saw anything walk by. We didn't hear any animal. You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing. We can't confirm what it was. Other things that happened there that was weird. Sunday when we were leaving, the state police show up. And Um, and there was like 3 of them, and we went outside. We were like, and one of the girls was like, "Do they want coffee?" I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god.
Like, I don't know. You guys want coffee? But anyway, so they show up and they're like, "We had a 911 call." They said, "Do you know I can't remember the name offhand. I have it written down. Let's just say they said Kelly Ballinger, right? Now,
Yeah.
the first thing I thought of was I'm friends with Jeff Ballinger, and I thought, okay, we're at Hinsdale. Like, are they checking in today or something? You know what I mean? Like, is that his daughter? Is that somebody related to him? And like, they're checking in. And we were like, no, like, we're about to leave. I mean, maybe it's somebody coming in. They're like, no, it was a 911 call. This was the address they gave, and it brought us here. And they said what the address we got was it was 3 Bear Road, Hinsdale. And so Tiffany, that lives and helps run Hinsdale House, I called her. I'm like, dude, you know anybody by this name? She's like, no. I'm like, is anybody checking in by this name? She's like, no. And I said, the police are here, the state troopers are here. They said they got a 911 call. They gave this address and they put it in their GPS. It brought them here. And she goes, there's no Bear Road in Hinsdale. She's like, I've lived here my entire life. I know this town inside and out. And I was like, okay. And I was like, and I said, and if they put it, that's not the address for Hinsdale, why would it bring them here? Like, if you put the address, I mean, like, Hinsdale's even, it's really funny because Hinsdale on FedEx, USPS, it says the Hinsdale House haunted attraction. It's on Google Maps, right? So I had to learn that the hard way. But so when you put it in, it brings you to Hinsdale House.
Yeah.
They weren't, the Hinsdale cops must have been tied up because these are state troopers, right? And they're putting it in their GPS because they don't know where they're going. And they put this 3 Bear drive in, and it brings them to Hinsdale.
Huh. Interesting.
They never had a follow-up call. They were unable to get in contact with whoever, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was just weird things like that happened all weekend, and which I find fascinating. I think that stuff is cool.
Right.
Yeah, no,
that's like unsolved mysteries stuff. I love that,
Yeah, it doesn't happen just because, man. They come out in so many ways. We get so many signs, and it's like going back to even with past loved ones. I mean, there's little signals and little signs of things happening, and yeah, that's crazy. Again, I mean, for the police to show up, I love that they offered them. Priceless.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to see who was commenting.
Oh, you're good.
Yes, we've got Jeff that joined in the room.
Hey, Jeff, the goat.
The goat. No, I mean, I can honestly say, like, my most memorable paranormal experience also came from the Hinsdale house.
Yeah.
That house screwed me up for the longest time, and I always swore that I would never go back just because of what happened to me. But I've also been talking to Dan Class and kind of promised him I will make my way back because you know what? After thinking about it, and the one thing in the paranormal is you should never let something hold that much fear over you. So I have to go back to face those fears and just to realize that I can do this. And but yeah, no, I love the Hinsdale house. It is one of the most amazing places I've ever been to.
Yeah, it's funny because like for 3 years I fought with my girls to go. They wanted me to go, and I'm like, nope, because I'm you hear a lot of, I was hearing a lot of that there's bad things there, and I like Casper. I might even play around with Slimers, but that's where I stop. I'm not going anywhere further than that. Like, Casper, Slimer, if you will, to just give you, I don't go anywhere further than that. So I didn't want to go, for a long time because I was like, no, I don't dabble with that stuff. Nope. That's not me. But then they finally convinced me to go, and I wound up being able. They went out to dinner, and I said I want to stay, And I stayed by myself, and I did like a 2-hour investigation by myself while they were at dinner.
Wow.
And I normally don't investigate by myself, and I felt completely comfortable. You know, I said, I'm not going to go outside, and I'm not going to go in the basement, but I will stay the first and second floors, and I'll investigate, you know? So I had a lot of awesome things happen that weekend. You know, I brought a lot of awesome memories from that house. So I'm happy I went.
Well, Taryn, I mean, this has been an absolutely amazing time talking to you. I almost hate to let you go because I just loved your stories, and you've got so much more to tell us that we definitely are going to have to get you back on here and to tell the other half of your story and the journey that you've come. And I mean, it's been quite amazing, and we're so honored to have you here. I
Thank
mean,
you
like I
for
said,
having me. I love
I
coming.
enjoy everything you guys do. For those that are watching, tune in every Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Catch the Paranormal Brew because you never know who Taryn's going to have on. Just like us, you never know who's coming up, but there are always amazing guests. You learn so much, and you get to be taken on a really amazing journey. So I want to thank you for that. It's been an amazing time having you here, and I hope I do see you up at the Warren's Paracon. We will definitely be there for sure. I
Yeah,
went
and
there
listen,
last year.
if you're ever gonna make it to Gettysburg, let me know, and I'll meet you up there and
that'd be neat.
take you around.
Absolutely. See, we get an amazing tour guide with somebody that knows all the really good spots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate that.
I want to say thanks to Amanda. She was great. Amanda, all her comments and stuff. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks everybody. Thank you to everybody. But Amanda was she was making me laugh and stuff. So she was. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, no, Amanda's absolutely amazing. She's a complete sweetheart. We did their event a few weeks ago. She's very good at what she does. She's very talented.
She knows her
So we're
stuff. She knows her stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
So Taryn, like I said, I just want to say thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us here on the TPV Nation, the Paranormal Voice. We look forward to more down the road. And like I said to all of our fans, go over to YouTube and join Taryn on the Paranormal Brew every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m.
Thank
It's the
you.
place to be.
Yes, thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
I think that's going to wrap up our show for the night. TPV Nation, I want to thank everybody from day one to day right now, whether you're a fan or you're a guest. We can't do it without all of you wonderful people. Hashtag blessed, thankful, grateful. We get to do what we get to do, and what we love is this right here, right now. Again, one more time, Miss Taryn Kerper, heaps of gratitude to you. Like Dale was saying, that's every Wednesday, sometimes Sundays, apparently, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok is the show of shows, the podcast known as the Paranormal Brew. That's going to be it for us, folks. We will see you all on the other side. But in the meantime, in between time, at the count of 3, Dale, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Happy
Happy
haunting.
haunts.